Good morning, SMP Nation. Blaine Austin here at Sewing Machines Plus, and welcome to our Thursday live show. Hey, now we have a great show for you today. I know I always say that, but today we really do. We have Karlie Belle in the house today. And guess who else we got, guys?
Who?
We got Cindy Hogan going to come in.
Cindy.
So we're going to have we're going to talk all about Brother machines today. We got Cindy and Karlie here. I've got Kicking It Kyle in here.
No, that's kicking it Kennedy.
It's Kicking It Kyle today. And I got Kicking It Roger.
Hey,
I got both of them.
Folks.
So
What was Roger's original name?
Rockin' Roger
Rockin'
and Big
Roger.
Daddy
Yeah,
Kyle
Rockin'
as y'all's
Roger.
nicknames.
That's
But
right.
today, since y'all are
I
taking
forgot.
Kennedy's place, y'all both kicking it.
Yeah.
She's at Comic-Con today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kennedy's at Comic-Con
Show us
today.
some good videos and stuff maybe next week.
Yeah, so maybe we'll have some pictures and videos and stuff we can show. But we set a booth up down there yesterday, and we're running the Genome booth down there, and it looks pretty good. I got to see some pictures of it, and it looks really nice.
She's
And
buying my daughter a Tamagotchi. Do you remember those?
no,
It's a little toy electric, and you feed it,
Yeah,
and you
take
keep it
care of
alive
it.
forever.
It's like a little-
Yeah,
really?
there's a Tamagotchi
Yeah.
booth, and I said,
I-
get one for my daughter.
I don't think I have never heard of that one, maybe. So we have a great show. I'm so excited to have Karlie. Now, Karlie, y'all are going to have to really give her some praise for being here today. She's in a middle of a major remodel of her house. And so can y'all imagine that? She's doing a show and in the middle of a remodel. You know how messed up your house gets in a remodel. I just went through some of that myself.
me too.
And it's just like everything, dust and craps everywhere. So I got to hand it for her. She's a trooper to go ahead and stay on track and do the show for us. So, but y'all need to make sure when she comes on, y'all give her praise for doing that. That's awesome. And also, you know, Cindy was in Florida and just got home last night to Tennessee. So big shout out to Cindy for, you know, getting on the show and all her travels and stuff she's been doing. So anyway, I want to say before we get in the show, I want to say some shout out to some of the SMP Nation watching today. Hey, we have Brenda over in Michigan watching. So, hey, Brenda, how are you? Nancy Fitzpatrick in Ohio. We have Ann Philback in Virginia. Sharon Bingham in Kansas. We have Eartha Lewis. And where was she at? Belle Chase, Louisiana? No, was it Belle Chase?
L4?
No, where was her? I forgot where she was at. I told you, I said, I know right where she's at.
Yeah.
No, it's right there by Baton Rouge.
It's Belle something.
Was it Belle Chase? That's by New Orleans. All right, Eartha, tell us where you're at in Louisiana again. Chat in there right now, and Roger will tell me. We have Janet Thomas in Columbus, Georgia. We have Jerry, is that Krause?
Gary Krause.
Krause in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Laurie Scott in Wyoming. Don Hiltz in Fairfield, Connecticut. Deborah Stringer in Alabama. And we have Tina Valentine Belfuel in Sunnyvale, Florida. So it's a bunch of shout outs out there today. So,
Hello.
Today.
did Eartha ever tell you where in Louisiana?
No, not yet.
I forgot where you told me. Because I said, I know right where that's at.
Yeah, I can't.
I think it's on the other side. I think it was, now I'm thinking about it, it was on the other side of the Mississippi River from Baton Rouge.
Isn't it pronounced Baton Rouge?
Baton Rouge.
It's Baton
Well, do y'all know what Baton Rouge means, right? Baton Rouge?
No.
It means red stick
Oh, okay.
in French.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
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 So
Rouge.
that's so y'all
Like a
learned
baton.
something today.
Yeah. One of the baton.
I
Red
should've- I
stick.
should've
Yeah,
known
Baton
that.
Rouge. So well, anyway, guys, want to remind y'all some dates. We always tell you about some dates. We have things going on today. I think Kyle's going to put the overlay up there so y'all can see some of the things we're talking about. But so every Thursday, as y'all know, we have a live show here. We always try to have good guests come on and do demonstrations on machines, have some great specials. That's every Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Central. And then August 14th through the 16th, I want y'all to mark this down. We are having our Floriani Total Control Summit. So if you're an embroiderer out there, you do not want to miss this. The price is $199 for a 3-day virtual event. And it's not going to be all day long, so you're not going to get burnt out. It's going to be, I think the first day is an hour and a half, and then the day 2 and 3 are 3 hours each. We've got Trevor Conquergood. Everybody's heard of Trevor. Awesome. And we have Lori LaGrange going to be on. They're both incredible digitizers, and they're going to take you through all how to digitize. Trevor's going to set, to kind of show you why you need to digitize. And then Lori's going to take you through 2 days of basically the Total Control University that Floriani has. And so it's $199, but here's the great thing about the $199 price. I know that sounds like a lot of money, but not only are you getting the 3 days of really good instruction and be able to ask questions and all that kind of stuff, but we're sending you a swag bag that is full of stuff. And when I say full, it is, I don't even know what the value on this thing is, but it's way more than $199.
Yeah, it's kind of like this.
We have put a lot of stuff in it. And one of the things is you're getting a thumb drive, a USB stick with 200 embroidery designs.
Yeah.
Now, if you just think about that for a minute, typical designs that you go out there and buy are about $5 a piece. So do the math, Roger.
Pretty good. 200 times 5, about
Let me get my
$1,000
calculator.
bucks.
1,000.
Think about that.
1,000.
So you're getting $1,000 worth of embroidery designs. If that's the only thing you got, that would be great. But we're not stopping there. We're giving you a SMP thumb drive. It's one of those 2 megabytes. We're throwing in all kinds of SMP swag. You're getting a serger tote bag in it. You're getting one of our event bags inside. You're getting that Trevor Trove digital download that you can. It's got videos, tutorials, and things. You're getting that trial version, the TCU, so you can follow along in the class. So it is really packed full of value. So I encourage y'all, if you haven't signed up yet, go sign up. You can go sign up on our website at the top of the page where it says events. You can go there, find it, click on the thumbnail once you see the summit, and it'll take you to the product page where you can sign up and pay for it.
It says, do you have to have Floriani software to do this? We urge you to sign up so you can get the trial and follow along, but you don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to have the Floriani software to watch the class and learn about it. But what's great about this is part of that Trevor Trove is you're going to get a digital download of a trial version so you can follow along at home while they're going through some of the
So the
things.
sooner you sign up, we're going to ship all that out to you before the event.
Yes. Actually, we're getting ready to start shipping. We were waiting
This
on
week, I think.
some of the stuff from Floriani to come in. You're also going to get a 10 spool Floriani thread kit. That's what we're waiting on. So everybody out there who's signed up so far, the reason we haven't sent out your swag bag is we're waiting on the spool kits, the 10 spool thread kits. As soon as they hit our docks, we're going to put those in your package, and we'll start shipping those immediately. And that way you'll have your whole swag bag and kit there and be ready to go. So that's happening August 14th through the 16th. I encourage y'all to do it. Now, September the 9th through, I got to tell them about the other date. We don't have it up there, guys. What is the next big event we're having?
SoFest?
No, before SoFest.
New product party.
Grace
The
Unique Experience.
Unique Experience.
So y'all need to make sure y'all mark this down. The Grace Unique Experience is July 30th through August 1st. Absolutely free. It's going to be a 3-day Unique Experience. We're going to talk all about the Unique machines. And Kyle, do we have that commercial that we could play?
I can get it ready.
All right, Kyle's going to get it. We actually did a commercial for this, so we'll get it ready and we'll show you the commercial for this. This is going to be really awesome. You're going to learn everything about Grace. Can they hear that? What I'm hearing?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Yeah. Kyle started playing and it kind of got me sidetracked a little bit. All right, we ready to show it?
Yeah.
All right, show this.
Okay.
All quilters, get ready for 3 days of pure quilting bliss.
Join Grace Company at SewingMachinesPlus.com for this incredible event.
It'll be packed with inspiration, techniques, and all the latest quilting innovations. Mark your calendars, July 30th and 31st and August 1st. This is an event you're not going to want to miss.
Quilting dreams come true with grace.
Experience the power and precision of Grace quilting machines firsthand.
Discover tools that will take your quilting to the next level.
See you at the Grace Company and SewingMachinesPlus.com for this event.
What if you could transform your quilting in just 3 days?
Imagine unlocking your creativity and mastering new skills.
It's all happening at the Grace Company and SewingMachinesPlus.com event. Get ready to be inspired. Grace Company and SewingMachinesPlus.com are teaming up
To bring you the ultimate quilting experience.
The expertise of Grace combined with the resources of SewingMachinesPlus.com. Together, we're celebrating the art of quilting.
All right, so there's our commercial. Now, what this is going to be doing, we're going to take a project and basically take the project from machine to machine to machine and finish a project during the 3 days. And we're going to highlight all the features and bells and whistles of all the unique machines. And we're going to have some specials on, the what I call the wink, wink, hint, hint. We're going to have some specials you can call in for the Grace machine. So it's going to be a really great event. Looking forward to that. Then, Roger, is SewFest.
Yes, so fast.
September the 9th through the 13th is going to be SewFest, and cannot wait. And Karlie Belle and actually Cindy Hogan are both going to be on SewFest. So I get to see Karlie doing some educational sessions on there, and I think Cindy's going to be doing demonstrations for Brother. And so we've got a great lineup for that. 2 educational sessions per day on SewFest. So you're basically getting 5 hours of just instruction, just education, and then a lot of demonstrations and things to go along with that. Prizes to give away, and we have a contest going on. So you're going to get ready to open the product page so you can start submitting your projects. And this is going to be a garment sewing contest. So you can submit your garments in, and we're going to let you vote on it. So naturally, we're going to let people do a People's Choice Award. You get to go out there and vote. Get all your friends to vote for your project. Whoever gets the most votes is going to win the People's Choice. But then we're going to have professional judges judge the judge's choice, and it's going to be 3 places. We're going to give first through third on the judge's choice, the best of show, we call it. And that'll be going on as well. All of them are going to receive a prize package. And then one of you, just for watching, will have a chance to win a Dream Studio giveaway worth $25,000. What do you think about that? $25,000. So it is going to be a great time. We cannot wait. And that's the September 9th through the 13th. We encourage y'all to tune in and make sure you tell all your friends and to come and watch it as well. It's going to be a week long of a lot of fun. So looking forward to it. For y'all?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Me too. All right. I'm trying to think of what else. What other dates we got going? That's about it right now. We've already started working on Quilt Fest. That's in March. Can y'all believe that? Already March. We're already planning out
ahead of the game.
Yeah, we're already starting to work on March. Already got the educators lined up, a lot of them for the Quilt Fest.
So start working
in
on
March.
your guys' quilts.
So yeah, we're going to tell you right now, if you want to enter a quilt, start working on that quilt now so you can enter it, because Quilt Fest is going to be bigger and better this year than it ever has been. So looking super, super forward to that. All right, guys, we are ready to get this show rolling today. And man, I tell you what, y'all love this next guest, Karlie Belle. She's been around here with us for a while now, and everybody absolutely loves her. She is one of the best educators out there, in my opinion. And if y'all haven't taken any of her classes, we actually sell embroidery classes on our website that you can take, you can sign up and take, that are incredible. And she has a lot of, she has a ton of YouTube videos. She has a sip and stitch that she does. I think she does it once a month now. I can't remember. We'll have to find out. She cut it down. I knew she used to do a lot more, but we'll find out. But y'all, welcome to the show, Karlie Belle.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Hey, Karlie. So your sip and stitch, how often do you do that now?
We're doing it once a month now.
Once a
I'm
month.
hoping maybe to increase it in the future. I got some ideas maybe for next year, but right now it's once a month.
All right, so I encourage y'all to go. And the best way to find Karlie is it's KarlieBelle.com.
Yes.
And then you can find all her social media links on her web page. And I encourage y'all to go do that. She has tons of things. Make sure y'all go check out Sip and Stitch because she always does some really good education on there. And then also, can you talk a little about the class that we sell of yours, Karlie, for those who may not know about it?
Yeah, so my online course is called From Start to Stitch, and it is an in-depth video lessons on beginner machine embroidery. So if you have no sewing experience, no embroidery experience, this course is going to hold your hand and take you through the whole process. And then I've even had students that had a little background with embroidery, definitely been sewing for a long time, and they still told me they learned so much from this course because we go over all of the fundamentals of embroidery, things that may be overwhelming, especially for beginners, like all the different type of stabilizers, all the different ways you can hoop things, all the different designs and design options out there as far as types of stitches, types of fonts, embroidery software, how to applique. We go through, and then the last module I think is one of the most important, and that is troubleshooting and maintenance. So, you know, every time we do a project, something might go wrong, how we can troubleshoot them to get back on track, and then maintaining our awesome embroidery machine. So the course is From Start to Stitch. It has 9 modules and I think over 57 video lessons. You have lifetime access to these lessons, so you can watch them at your schedule. You can rewatch them later on if you want to. So once you get access to the course, you have immediate computer access to anything, to any of the lessons, and then for the lifetime of the course. You can watch the modules on your phone, on your iPad, on your computer. And if you have your TVs set up to be able to go on a web browser, you could watch them on your TV too. The course also includes a private Facebook group just for students. And I do a live Q&A session every month. So if you on a certain module, a certain lesson, have specific questions, no matter where you are on your embroidery journey, you have access to me through this Facebook group and through these Q&A sessions so that we can continue learning and teaching together. So that's it, From Start to Stitch. It's on the Sewing Machines Plus's website. You can just go to the search bar at the top of the page and type in Karlie Belle. That's how I spell it there. And the course and all my supply recommendations should come up for you.
Well, Karlie, and I tell you what, I know you put a ton of work into this class, and it shows because it is very professionally done. And guys, the price is $147. I mean, this is a bargain for what you're getting, and especially the lifetime access and you know, access to Karlie too on the social, you know, the Facebook groups and things. So I really do commend you for taking so much time to put this together. And you know, this is the exclusive here, guys. You can only get it at Sewing Machines Plus. And I tell you what, is there a little bit of aren't we kind of working on something too for the next part of that?
Yes. So I have a second course. I just finished it at the beginning of the summer. So I have a crazy summer going on right now with the kids. But next month, I will have a new course that is totally focusing on embroidery software, specifically Embroiance Essentials. So a lot of us, once we get over that learning curve of learning our machine and stabilizers and how to hoop, the next step is, okay, you see all these cute designs, you know, shopping around, you know, seeing people walking around with custom embroidery, and you want to learn, okay, well, now other than the designs that came on my machine, how can I start doing custom embroidery, you know, beyond that? And that's what the course is called, Embroidery Essentials, but it covers totally the Embroiance Essentials module of software. And that one is even a longer course a little bit. It has 12 modules, and we go in depth on all of the wonderful functions and tools of Embroiance Essentials. So look for that next month.
All right, we're super excited to have that, and so y'all stay tuned because we'll let you know as soon as it's available to purchase, and I will highly recommend it. And if you haven't taken the first one, I'd recommend taking that first one. But then if you've taken the first one, take the second one as well. And but I tell you, it's I can already imagine how good this is going to be, Karlie, and I can't wait to have it. But hey, I know today we're talking all about Brother. Now we're going to talk about the PR1X. That's that new one needle that Brother released. And then we're going to talk about, that PrintModa today. And I know you've been using it to do a lot of cool appliques. So I'm going to let you take it away and show everybody what you've been doing with it. And we'll come back and tell them how they can get one. And then we got Cindy Hogan coming in the house.
Awesome. So thanks everyone for joining us today. So I am loving the combination of using my PrintModa and my embroidery machine, the PR1X. So what I'm going to show you today is the features of the PrintModa. I'm going to show you some fabric that I printed with it, projects I made with it, and then we're going to take some fabric over to my PR1X and use it for an applique. So if you haven't seen the PrintModa before, I have my camera on there. I have tight quarters in my craft room, so I'm sorry. I have a little camera work to do with y'all today. But here is the PrintModa. It is really cool because Brother has been a leader in the field of inkjet printers for, I think, decades now, right? But they've taken their knowledge and expertise of inkjet printers and applied it to their sewing and embroidery customers as well by allowing for printing directly onto fabric. So the PrintModa Studio is an inkjet printer that is able to print onto normal paper, but it also has a drawer so that it can print onto fabric rolls. So the rolls themselves are 100% cotton fabric, woven fabric, and it's I say quilt shop quality. If you've gone to Walmart or Hobby Lobby and you felt their cotton fabric, but then when you go to a quilt shop and you try the Moda and the Riley Blake and the name brand cotton fabrics, that's what we're feeling here. So I call it quilt shop quality, 100% cotton. The roll is 11.6 inches wide. When you get the machine, it comes with a roll this wide and I think a little over a yard long. And then you can purchase rolls that are 5 yards long so that you can print larger pieces. So with the printing capabilities of it, if you have a particular pattern you want to print, up to 11.6 inches wide and 3 yards in one printing. So if you have a pattern that you need to print a large length on, you can print up to 3 yards at one time. Now, as far as the ink goes, it is the standard inkjet ink from my understanding, but there is enough ink in this printer to print up to 35 yards of fabric. And the ink is very well priced. It's not anything crazy and expensive to refill your ink cartridges, and they are standard and easy to get and easy to install into the machine. As far as the fabric roll goes, when you pull out the roll tray, let me push this down a little bit so you can see it better. Okay, so you have your roll and the paper, and they have really great picture instructions printed on the inside so that in case it's been a long time since you've loaded your fabric roll, step-by-step instructions always printed in here to remind you. But basically you are going to slide the fabric underneath this little plastic piece here. And once you do that, it's going underneath a piece of plastic here. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see. But watch the edges here and here. So this plastic, the fabric is going underneath it. And all I'm doing is I'm rolling, 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 until my fabric comes all the way to that edge right there. Okay. And that is when it is ready to load and print. And again, those step-by-step instructions are on there for you. And you do also have the option, if you're not printing on fabric and need extra space for paper, you can convert this tray into a paper printing by following the instructions and flipping this tab here. So that is it. Super easy to load the fabric and push into the machine. And I went ahead and printed some fabric before we started today, just to make sure the class goes in a timely manner. So let's head back over to the craft table, and I'm going to show you some examples of fabric that I printed and your different options of printing. Okay. So let's see, I'm going to bring you to my craft table. So we were just talking about Quilt Fest. And this is a project I am very proud of, because I am just beginning my quilting journey. I've been on my embroidery journey for a long time, but I am just starting my quilting journey. And I made this in the spring. I have a membership group where we do private Zoom classes every month. And it's really fun. It's a lot more interactive than my normal YouTube video classes, so that we can talk to each other. And we do a different project every month, and I give them an embroidery design every month, and we usually incorporate that into our monthly project. So this is like a table runner. It can also be made into like a bench pillow, but we made this in March and April. March, we made these applique blocks, and then April, we made this one, and we put it all together. But the really fun thing about this project is I incorporated my PrintModa into it. And I printed all of these fabrics using the PrintModa. So instead of going through my stash and trying to find coordinated fabrics that would flow together, I was able to go online and find, you can either use digital paper, like digital scrapbooking paper, or what's even better is seamless patterns that you can get online. So then you can scale it to make the print as big or as little as you want. And so I got a pack of a color scheme that I really liked, and everything was already coordinated. So I absolutely love the ability, because there's so many beautiful seamless patterns and digital papers online, that I can easily turn into fabric. So that is what this project is. And other ways that you can print fabric is using the ArtSpira app. So this is an app offered by Brother, and they have a free version and a paid version. And when you get the paid version, you just get access to more options. But on here, I can look at printing designs, and I can look at fabric patterns. And sorry, my phone is a bit slow, but I can see all of these patterns that are free and already available on my ArtSpira app that I can then send to my printer and print right away. So this flowers one I printed earlier, and you can also choose the size that you want to print it. So I chose just an 8.5 by the 11.66 width of the roll, and printed that much, because normally I am just printing bits that are for applique. But like I said, you do have the ability to print up to 3 yards of continuous fabric in whatever pattern that you would like. So after it prints, you need to let it dry for about 15 minutes. And you'll notice on the back of the fabric is a shiny plastic sheet. So once the fabric is dry, which it is now, you can go and peel this plastic sheet off of the back of the fabric. And this just helps it feed through the printer properly so that you don't have any mishaps. And sometimes I get this right away and sometimes I don't. But I know my daughter Elise, she loves, I usually let her do this, because the first time she did it, she immediately after, she's like, that was so satisfying. But here we go. So you peel it like so. And now you have that buttery soft woven cotton fabric that has a beautiful drape to it and is ready to go for your sewing projects. So just peel that carrier sheet off once it's dry. You can also heat set the ink by passing an iron over it lightly. I will be doing that with the piece I'm going to use for applique. I originally was going to use this piece for applique today, but I wanted to show you some of my other fabrics. So this is my scraps left over from this quilting project. And I love this yellow pattern with the plaid and the flowers. So instead of using the one I printed, I'm going to use this one for applique today. So this fabric was printed a few months ago, and I just peeled the carrier sheet off. I used it for this quilt block that I appliqued on top of. So this time we are going to use it as a piece of applique. So there's a couple other things I want to tell you about the PrintModa before we move on. So I'm going to put that piece of fabric to the side because that's the piece I want to use for our embroidery portion of the day. But some other cool things that you can do with this fabric is if you are not using it for, say, a typical sewing or embroidery project and you want to kind of make it waterproof, you can laminate. There are laminating sheets that you can add to this, and it gives it like almost a shiny clear vinyl that goes on top. So that makes it great for, you know, indoor, outdoor bags, lunch kits, anything like that, to make it makeup bags so that you can make it like wipeable and cleanable. So that is something to tell you about. One of the things I love about the printer as well is because Brother is a leader in the field when it comes to printers, they have automatic maintenance on the machines. So this machine will randomly turn on, which scares my cat, but he loves it anyway. In fact, that's one of his favorite places, is to lay on top of my printer, which is across from me. But it has automatic maintenance. So it's going to come on, it's going to clean the print heads, it's going to run and make sure that the printer is running top notch all the time. So that is something I love. And then just to tell you, you know, I'm using my piece for applique today, but there are tons of applications for this printer and the fabric that you can print from it. So one of the things I want to make that is on my to-do list is quilt label. So on the back of my quilt, which I made it to where I can use it as a bench pillow too, I can put a little triangle or a rectangle of a printed label that says handmade by Karlie. Or if I'm gonna give this to one, you know, made with love for mom, or, you know, whoever it is that you're giving it to, and you can put a date, you could put who made it. So they have really cute quilt labels that are already built into the Artspira app, or you can design your own and send it to the printer. You don't have to use the Artspira app to send anything to the printer. It is like a normal printer, as long as it is on a wireless network and my laptop's on the same wireless network, I could send anything to print to it. So don't feel like you're limited and that you can only use the app and the designs within the app to send to the machine. It's super easy to do that, but no, you can, as long as you have your computer open and recognizing the printer, you can send anything to get printed to it. So like all of these patterns on this quilt were not on the Artspira app. I actually got them from a website called Creative Fabrica. So just keep that in mind. Endless possibilities. So quilt labels, fabric for applique, which is what we're doing today. In the Artspira app, they have a really cool feature where you can print banners. So that's when you can really use that 3-yard printing ability to print a large banner custom with actual life photos and, you know, have happy birthday and customized personalization for the name and borders and all that good stuff. So that is a really nice feature. You can print out fabric that you would then use in sewing projects. But another cool thing is if you find, which I've seen online before, where you print and the only spot where the fabric pattern is, and it's already like printed, cut out for you. So for example, like doll clothing, or like a simple stuffed animal where it's printed on you can buy the panels usually at quilt shops and stuff too, where you would print it on the white fabric, but the only spots where the pattern would show up is in the shape of the pattern that actually needs to be cut out. And then if you have a Brother Scan and Cut, you could put that right on your map, and then the Scan and Cut can then cut out the pattern for you. So lots of cool applications that you can use with this printer. So moving on from the printer, I am now going to talk to you about using my printed fabric to make a little applique on a onesie. So now I'm going to tell you about one of my other favorite machines, and that's the Brother PR1X. So I have to go do a little camera work real quick, but here's my onesie. Here's my fabric, and I'm going to get it set up so that y'all can see the PR1X. And just to tell you about some of the features before you get to see it in action. And one of the reasons why I upgraded to this machine, I upgraded to the older model of it like 4 years ago. And then I traded in my Persona for the PR1X so that I can get the newest model because it's really awesome. But coming from someone who started with a flatbed machine, and one of the whole reasons why I got into embroidery, because I had little girls and I wanted all the cute baby stuff to be appliqued and monogrammed and embroidered. And I quickly learned on my flatbed embroidery machine that I hated doing onesies, and hate is a strong word, I know. I despised embroidering baby onesies because it is so complicated to hoop and keep the excess material out of the way on a flatbed machine. So that is when I started doing more research on other types of embroidery machines, and those are called free arm machines. So here is what the PR1X looks like. It looks like one of those industrial multi-needle machines. However, it is still a single needle. So it may be a little confusing because you'll see 4 spools of thread on the top of mine, but it is still a single needle machine. So it's all the functionality of an industrial or multi-needle machine, but in a single needle and a lower price point. So I always call this my middle of the road option. So for those of us that were coming from a flatbed machine but was not quite ready to invest in a multi-needle machine, this was a beautiful option for me because I got that free arm functionality and a larger hoop size than I did with my flatbed machine. Whenever people ask me for embroidery machine recommendations, I always say buy the largest hoop in your budget. And then you start juggling, well, there's this flatbed machine with a large hoop, but a free arm machine with a large hoop. And if you are embroidering anything that is hard to hoop, like small children's clothing, bags, pockets, that is when the free arm comes into play. And I'm going to show you that with a baby onesie today. So just to go over a little bit more of the features. So it is the PR1X single needle free arm machine. And we talked about hoop size matters. This embroidery machine has an 8x12 embroidery field, which is just as big as a Brother 6 needle machine. So you get that super large embroidery field like the multi-needle machine as well with the PR1X. It stitches 1,000 stitches per minute. It is super easy, even though this kind of intimidated me when I first got my machine with the thread path, because I can thread my flatbed machine like real quick. I was a little intimidated by the thread path here. It's super easy, and I'm going to show you because I have this white thread on and I want this peachy thread for my project. They have these built in, can you see, thread cutters at the top of the thread rack right here. So I could take my white thread and do this, which I love. And I know Cindy Hogan loves this too, and wish we had this on the multi-needle machines as well. But thread cutter built in, and I'll take my other thread that I'm changing to, and I just wrap them both around my fingers and pass through and pull, and ta-da, we have a really good strong knot that I can't pull out. And now to make sure you see the bottom, I'm not the best camera person, so I want to make sure you see this. But right now the white thread is there. I'm going to pull it out the needle hole here, and I'm just going to pull through until my peach thread is out the bottom, and there it is. So then it also has an automatic needle threader, and I just press this needle button here and a little prong pokes out, and I wrap it around, and they have a little kind of clasp here and another thread cutter. Set that up, press this, and boom, now I have my needle threaded. And if I wouldn't have been taking my time to show you and talk you through it, I would have had that done just as quickly as I changed my thread on my flatbed machine. So very easy. You could set up, if you're doing a design that has multiple thread colors, what I usually do is I set them up in order on here so that I'm changing super quick and just going through the threading process just by pulling it through. All right, so now let's show you why the free arm is so much fun and important, I think, to have, especially when doing any type of clothing, anything that's tubular. The free arm is so great. So here on the craft table, I have a baby onesie. This is a newborn size. This is just about as small as it gets besides preemie. It's a basic Gerber onesie. They do make higher quality onesies for embroidery blanks that you could get that are a lot thicker. So when I'm doing these thin onesies, I did 2 layers of this right here, fusible no-show stabilizer. So I ironed it onto the back of my onesie so it didn't shift, it didn't move, and I did 2 layers of it because this onesie is so thin. Okay, and I already figured out my placement, and so I have this right where I want it to be. And I made a quick little like scallop circle design that we're going to fill with this pretty printed fabric from the PrintModa. And then we're just going to put an initial on it. So I have that ready. Now, whenever you're doing applique, I always like to put some heat and bond light on the back of the fabric so that after we're done appliquing, I can use my little mini iron and make sure that my applique fabric is adhered nicely to the material that I'm embroidering. And so after, when we wash this, the applique fabric won't separate and bubble from the onesie. It gives you a much better professional look when you add some heat and bond light. So this is what it looks like. You want to make sure you get the purple one, the light version. The adhesive is not too tacky and is not a problem to sew and embroider through. So pay attention to the type of heat and bond light, the heat and bond you're getting. Make sure it is the light version. So usually what I do is I'll take my fabric that I'm doing and I will cut. And I'm doing, the heat and bond has 2 sides. It has like a smooth paper side and a kind of textured side. The textured side is the adhesive. So that's the side you want going on the wrong side of your fabric. And you simply iron this on, and then you peel off the paper, and now it's going to make the back side of your embroidery, your applique fabric fusible, just like how my stabilizer was fusible. Now my fabric is going to be fusible. And another thing is the heat really helps with setting the ink in the fabric you printed as well. So just going to do that quickly. And I don't remember how big my scallop is, so I didn't cut this yet, just to make sure if it's not big enough, I could put a little bit more heat and bond, but I think it is. And then you're just going to peel this off. And so now you see this shiny on the back of my fabric. So once I do trim my applique and I'm all done, I can iron this in place. And that's when it's good to have the little mini iron. And the Oliso one is really nice that Sewing Machines Plus has. And I've been wanting to get one. I probably need to order it. All right, so we have our onesie. It is stabilized. We have our fabric from the PrintModa. So let's go to the machine and stitch out that really quick little applique that I made. And I made it in Embroidery Essentials, which is that software I was telling you about that I have a new course on. Oops. Okay, so with the frame holder, it can be adjusted easily based on the frame you're putting on. So then the machine knows, hey, I'm putting a 4x4 hoop on my machine right now. And you can see as I adjust it out, the largest is 8x12, 5x7, 4x4, and then this is the 1.5 by 2.5, I think. Once I get it where I want, you have these thumb screws and you just tighten it. And I'm going to load my design, which I have saved on a USB stick. So anytime you're making a design that is not preloaded on your machine, you can simply save it to a USB drive, plug it in right here, press this button, and now it's going to pull up all the designs that I have saved on this USB stick that I've made in places like Embroidery Essentials. Let me zoom in a little bit and try not to be in the way. Let me come over here. Okay, so this is the design I made. It's just a little scalloped circle with a satin stitch W in the middle. Sorry, it's a little hard to see on the screen there, but I have that. And notice when I did click this, my frame holders moved because it knows, hey, I just told you I'm putting a 4x4 hoop on. So you saw it recenter now. So when I load this hoop, because of the length of the brackets, that needle's going to fall right in the middle of this design of this hoop. And I'm going to hit set, and I'm not changing anything about it. I'm going to hit embroidery. So it's ready to stitch. And I'm going to back up now so you could see. Now, if you've ever tried to hoop a onesie on a flatbed machine, you know that you essentially have to turn this out, inside out, and get all this fabric out the way, because you don't want your design to stitch to itself and make the onesie not usable anymore. The cool thing about the free arm is that now I can slide that free arm through the neck hole, or I probably should have hooped it upside down so it could go through this hole, and it has a lot more movement now with now the free arm is in between the front and the back of the shirt, so nothing gets stitched to itself. So let me see if it's going to let me stitch, move around and everything. And I'm going to show you how to trace a design to make sure everything goes where you want. Okay. And I think I have this, you know what? I already did hoop it upside down because this is supposed to be on this side. Let me double check. Okay. I usually write on my hoops the orientation so that I don't confuse myself on which side goes forward. But let me double check real quick. But on the frame holder, one side has like a closed circle, and the other side, here we go, has a kind of open-ended circle. And one goes on the left and one goes on the right. And so on this frame, I wrote myself little arrows to remind. So this side the right side needs to have the closed circle, and the right side, right side, closed circle, left side, open-ended circle. So that's how I've loaded this. So now my onesie is actually hooped upside down. So now I'm going to rotate my design so that it stitches upside down, and then everything comes out looking right. And so I'm going to go to rotate, and I'm going to just hit 90 degrees 2 times. There we go. Now my W is upside down, and I'm gonna hit OK. And I want to make sure that everything can move how it's supposed to. I also want to make sure that all my fabric is underneath this free arm and that it's going to move around nicely and not give me any trouble. So to do that, we have a trace feature. And look at that beautiful crosshair. Can y'all see that? That red laser crosshair. That is showing me right where the design is going to fall. This helps out with having perfect placement and everything. You know your needle's not going anywhere that it's not supposed to go, and that everything is going to stitch out how it's supposed to. So I was messing with the camera when I did it. So let me do it one more time and pay attention so I could see right where this is going to fall. Loving it. Okay. And I don't have no issues with this getting moved around while it's stitching. I'm probably going to pay attention to this while we're stitching too, just to make sure this stays and doesn't get caught up and go in between the shirt and the needle plate. Now I can go to lock. I already have my thread color that I want. The first step is just the outline or the placement stitch of the scallop. So now y'all can see it in action. Stitch in 1,000 stitches per minute. And it's just going to show us right where to put our fabric that we printed with the PrintModa. And see how I'm just holding? I don't know if you can see. I'm holding this underneath to make sure it stays where it's supposed to. All right, now where is our pretty fabric? Here. Okay, we have our fabric we made with the PrintModa with the heat and bond side down. I can take this off and make sure it's in place, but I'm just going to lay it right on top. I usually don't have any issues where I need to tape it or pin it into place. Most of the time with that heat and bond, it makes it nice and flat and stiff. And so that I usually can just place it right where I want it. So I have that. I'm gonna lock and go. So normally with applique, we have the placement stitch showing you where to put your fabric. The tack down stitch, which then of course tacks down the fabric, and you trim it, and then the finishing stitch, which gives you whatever your final stitch is. But in my case, I'm doing a bean stitch or a vintage stitch. So the tack down and finishing stitch are combined into one step. So that's what's happening now. So it's tacked it down, and now it's doing a pretty bean stitch finish around it. And it's going to have a raw edge trim, which is great with the heat and bond light, because now it's going to prevent my fabric from fraying on the edges. All right, so now we can take this off the machine and bring it to the craft table, and we're going to trim it, okay? So here we are, have it back. I see where some threads got messed up here. I'm gonna fix those. And let me get my favorite applique scissors. These are Havels. A lot of the stuff I'm using today is in the recommended products that I was telling you about. I have a page on Sewing Machines Plus. So it has like all of my favorite tools and stabilizers on that page so you can see it. And these scissors are one of them. So I'm just trimming right around the scallop's edge. Doesn't have to be perfect. You just trim around it, whatever distance you want from that stitch line. You're just using that as a guide. And then we're going to activate that heat and bond light by using the little mini iron and ironing it into place. So just trimming this around, super easy. And almost done. So just to tell you, garments are super easy to embroider on this machine because of the free arm, but also bags, like pockets for bags, like school bag pockets, anything that is normally really hard to embroider on my flatbed machine is so much easier with the PR1X. So there we have our cute little applique made with our PrintModa fabric, and we can activate that heat and bond light now. And now it's going to fuse to the front of the onesie. So when we wash it, it's not going to bubble up and separate, and it's going to look super nice and professional and finished. So all I have left is I'm going to stitch a satin letter right on top, and then we're done. So I'm going to tell you some more about the features of the machine while that is stitching. So let's go back over here. And sorry, I haven't been able to watch the comments to see what kind of questions y'all have. So we'll look at some questions too. But I'm popping this right back on, making sure when I hoop it, can y'all see? Let me back up. Making sure when I'm sliding this on that the free arm is going in between the two. Making sure my close circle's on the right, my opens on the left. Everything's in place. I'm going to use the same thread color for my W that I'm stitching on here. So now I just need to hit lock and go. So while this is stitching, I could tell you there are tons of built-in designs. I want to say close to 50 built-in fonts. They have monogramming fonts. They even have applique fonts. So if you are new to embroidery and just want to get the machine and use it, there's tons of stuff built in on this machine that allows you to be ready to go to make some beautiful projects, including applique. They have these types of frames built in on the machine to where you can create your own applique and then use the font that's already built in on the machine. So you can create this exact design using everything that's built in on the machine itself. They have some really fun and funky graffiti style fonts and boho style fonts that are exclusive to this machine that I love. And then let's talk about we can do clothing, we can do bags, but did you know that you can also do baseball hats as well? You can get add-on accessories like the cap driver, which is this kind of scary looking thing, but I promise you it's not scary at all. Once you watch the process and go through it yourself, you'll be amazed at how easy it is to hoop and embroider not only like soft style women's caps, but also structured baseball and trucker hats, which my husband loves. And if you're ever thinking about starting a small business, this is a great small business starter machine. It's that lower price point than the multi-needle machines, but has the ability to make any of the things that a multi-needle machine can make because of the free arm and the cap driver that you can add on to it to make those structured baseball hats, which is a hot selling ticket. I can definitely tell you. I know in my community they are. So you have all those built-in features. You have this beautiful LCD touchscreen, automatic needle threader, that beautiful red laser crosshair helps you figure out perfect placement, and with ease you can make a beautiful little baby onesie that would have left me saying some bad words if I was going to try and do this on my flatbed machine. So I don't know how I'm doing on timing. I think I'm good. Okay, so here is our baby onesie. Let me actually go to the craft table so we can take it off. I could show you some other things I would do just to finish it up. But I love that yellow fabric. Oh, it's so pretty. You find the prettiest things. And I could tell you, this is a lot cheaper than going to the quilt shop and buying, because I would get it and I'd be like, oh, but I think I need a yard of it. I don't want to just get a fat quarter because I really like it. But now I can print as I need and I'm not wasting, and I have a specific project in mind and I can print just what I need and have this project. And, when I have my little scraps left over, I could use it for other projects. So there is our onesie. You can trim up the stabilizer on the back. And for baby stuff, I love to add another thing. It's not a stabilizer, but it's called Fuse So Soft. And it is a really soft fusible backing so that we can put that on top of here, and these rough threads won't rub against the baby's skin. So Fuse So Soft. Add this to your stock in your craft room if you're doing any clothing for children. I know all my kids always complain if they don't have that on the inside of their shirts when I embroider for them. But this was fusible on there, but I could still pull it away, and I can trim that out, and then I would trim a piece of the Fuse So Soft, and you can just iron it directly on top of it. So that is it for the little project I wanted to show you today on how you can combine the PrintModa and the PR1X. So Blaine, is there anything I forgot to mention? Tell me what
Well,
you
Karlie,
think.
what I wanted to do while we had you right now is if anybody out there right now, if you have a question on the PrintModa, go ahead and put your questions in the chat right now. And Karlie, Roger's going to put them up on the screen for you so you can see the questions.
Great.
But go ahead and ask questions about the PrintModa, because I did see a few questions popping up, but it's hard for her to stop and see those. So if y'all can do it right now, in the chat if you have any questions about the PrintModa, and Karlie be happy to do that. So does it handle photos, Karlie?
Yes. So one of the beautiful things about this printer, let me change cameras here, is that you can print anything, and the print quality is gorgeous. So I'm printing the high quality images that I found online and downloaded. It's a seamless pattern, so then I can print it. You can also print photos that you take with your phone and your digital camera, and it comes out gorgeous. So if you want to make memory quilts or any kind of beautiful pillow for grandchildren, family, friends, you can print a life, photo from your phone and onto fabric and incorporate that into your sewing project. So either the photos that you're taking of people, or if you take a picture of a pattern you like, you can turn that into fabric as well. So I know one of the cool things Blaine told me about when the machine came out was that, say you have some fabric, but you have run out and you can't find it anywhere, you don't have time to go to the store to buy it, you can take a picture of it, adjust it within the ArtSpira app or on your computer so that the sizing is right, and you can print it out, and now you have extra fabric to finish that project. So definitely great for photos as well.
Okay, the next question, Karlie, it comes from Allison. She says, can the fabric be printed edge to edge?
Yes. I know with some of them I've done, I know sometimes you'll get this white border, and that was with the ArtSpira app. But when I set it up using, there's a free program called Photopea or Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator, you can make it to where I think it prints really close to the edge. I don't have an example. I think I might have pre-cut these already, but I know for sure this one that I printed through the ArtSpira app, it goes, let's see, about a ½ inch from the edge. But let's see the actual print. Yeah, the actual print is about 10 3/4 wide. So that's from the ArtSpira app. I have to play with it more because, like, look at this one. Here's the edge on this one is like barely a ½ inch. So I think you can set it up to print very close, if not to the edge.
Okay, Karlie, next question comes from Jennifer. She says, does the print fade with washing?
No, I have not experienced that. I've used them for my applique and my quilting projects. I don't have a piece in front of me. It's probably in my daughter's room that has been appliqued and washed. But as long as you heat set it, I do wash my clothes at a cold cycle. And another thing I've been doing more with my clothes, I've been practicing with all of my stuff, because I not only embroider, I print directly onto clothing and do like heat transfer vinyl onto clothing. On my washing machine, I can control the spin cycle, and I put the spin cycle on low, and I find that helps a lot with my products I've made in my craft room on clothing. So I would say cold water and a low spin cycle helps really a lot with pretty much everything I make, living long and keeping those colors good and keeping anything from coming off.
All right, Karlie, I think we got time for one more question. This comes from A. Smith. It says, does the fabric from the PrintModa require a special type of stabilizer to embroidery on it?
No. So you saw that clear carrier sheet that peels off, then you treat that piece of fabric just like any other piece of fabric you've bought at a quilt shop. So with this one, because I was appliquing, I added heat and bond light to the back of it. So for these, I actually machine embroidered the quilting design on these. So I had some poly mesh no-show stabilizer on the back of these. So it all depends on the project you're doing. So if the project calls for heavier stabilizer, use heavier stabilizer, but the fabric itself needs nothing special. You're treating it just like any other fabric that you've purchased off the bolt in a store.
Karlie, I actually missed one question. Well, we got time for one more. They were asking, if you don't use the printer very often, will the ink dry out just, in the cartridges?
No. So that's where I love that it has the built-in maintenance feature, because, and I know Cindy's going to talk about this when she does the sublimation printer. In the past, I purchased a plain Epson printer and turned it into a sublimation printer. It was all the rage a few years ago, before Brother came out with a sublimation printer. But my Epson had no maintenance on it. So if I didn't use it, the inks, the tubing clogged up, and it did. So now I have the Brother sublimation printer, automatic maintenance. The PrintModa, same technology. That automatic maintenance keeps ink going through the tube, even if you haven't used it in a while, so that everything stays nice and clean and crisp, and you don't have to worry about remembering, oh, I haven't printed anything, in so many weeks, or whatever the case is. So yeah, automatic maintenance built in.
All right, Karlie. Well, hey, Karlie, thank you so much for taking the time out of your remodel and coming on the show today. I know it's hectic around there, and I know your kids are out for the summer, so we surely do appreciate it. And but anyway, you have a great rest of your day. We're going to tell everybody how they can get this, and we'll see you real soon, okay?
All right. Thanks, Blaine. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
All right. So today we're going to talk about, the first thing we're going to talk about is that PrintModa. And guys, we have a really good price on this today. It's $899. Give us a call for more information or to order. 800-401-8151. We do have some special financing available if you need it. But again, $899. Give us a call for more information, okay? Next up was the PR1X. And again, this is that one needle machine. Fantastic machine, weighs about 68 pounds. So it's very manageable with two people to move it around. Has a very small footprint. $64.99 on this. And again, we have some special financing available for it. Give us a call right now for more information. 800-401-8151 if you want to place an order today. And naturally, all the products on today's show, we're going to ship it nationwide free right to your doorstep. All right, guys. Next up, we have Cindy Hogan in the house, and we're going to talk about that Brother sketch and that Brother sublimation printer. So y'all welcome Cindy to the show.
Hey, Blaine. How are you today?
I am awesome. How are you?
I'm all right. Tired from the drive.
I figured, I told everybody you were, out in Florida yesterday and you went all night to get home. So I know you got to be tired, but we sure do appreciate you taking the time to come on the show today and talk about the two products. So I'm going to let you just get going on it, because I know you got quite a bit to talk about, and we'll then at the end, we'll tell everybody how they can get that. And y'all save your questions for Cindy till the end, like we did with Karlie. So if you have a question, write it down so you don't forget it. And then at the end, we'll ask her so she can see the question and answer it for you. All right, take it away, Cindy.
Okay, Blaine. So before don't go away, because you're going to have, somebody's going to have to switch things for me just to make sure that we actually go from the app to the machines over here. So, all right, guys, I kind of switched it up today. We were going to do PRS100, but then Blaine decided we wanted to do sublimation and sketch. So, we're going to have some fun with this. And I figured since it's Olympic time, why don't we play and see what the app has in it that you can do to play with that. We're going to combine printing and embroidery in the same project. So I'm actually going to make my dog a little t-shirt. So, and I'll show you some of the things that I've done. I don't have everything out because, as Blaine said, I was driving all day yesterday, so I do not have everything out. But if you guys will share my screen, we'll start in the Artspira app and go from there. Okay, so here's my app. And if you scroll through here, you have embroidery designs at the top. This is your explore area. Let me see if I can point that out with my cursor here. So you've got embroidery designs, you've got cutting designs, printing designs, sublimation, projects, design templates, and then I do want to draw your attention to this. There's an education tab here. Even though I'm not talking about specifically the education about this, but we're talking about the app here. And there are specific videos to sketch here that will walk you through the most basic things of it. There are also all kinds of basic videos in here, choosing embroidery files. Those are your Artspira basics. You've got Artspira, you've got cutting, and you've got printing, and then you've got sublimation. So there are educational videos in here that we've done for you. And I just want to make sure you know that those are there. All right, so we're going to go and hunt for something. There are also magazines. Before I go into hunting for things, there is one free magazine every month. So if it doesn't have a crown next to it, it's a free magazine and it has project ideas in it. You'll also see the collections of the month. And this month we have some collections for cutting, printing, and sublimation and embroidery. So everything is in there, and those are basically in relationship to the Olympics. So that is what those are. They pop those in there, but you'll find them elsewhere as well. You may not you may not want to go with the project that's there, but it may draw your eye to an embroidery design that's in there that you didn't realize was there. But if you tap them, you tap a project, it will have a video, it will have instructions, supply list, and it will walk you through the entire process of how to do that. Okay. But let's go dive into this. I'm sorry, my nose is itching and y'all got my face on this screen. I can't just hide behind it. We're going to go, we could go into sublimation if we wanted to, or we can simply go into printing designs, and that covers everything. So if I go into printing designs and I touch the search menu, and let's just search for sports, and we'll tap search. That should bring up all my sporting designs. You'll see a lot of them with icons that have a crown next to it. So if you see a crown, it's an Artspira Plus design. If you want to filter to get rid of those, you can touch the filter button right here. Tap filter, touch membership type, and take off the Artspira Plus membership. Click apply, and it will bring up the free design. So you don't have to actually sit there and search through anything that's not free. Okay. So those are my printing designs for the Olympics that are free. They're actually all sports that are free that are in there. So if you wanted to choose one of those, you could tap it and get going on it and tap create. And then you could simply send that to the printer. I'm going to do something a little bit a little bit different on this one. Instead of doing one of the Artspira designs, I'm going to type in USA, and we're going to use one of the embroidery designs. So let's look at the embroidery designs before we go forward on this. I'm going to discard that editing, and we'll just go back to our home tab. Let's go into embroidery designs. And once again, let's search for sports. And then let's tap to filter one more time for free. So we'll do filter, membership type, free, and apply. You can also filter by size. So if we go back in here, you can filter by embroidery frame type, how many thread colors it has, and if you can use commercial use with them. So keep that in mind as well. But let's pick one of these designs. Let's go with a freebie. So we can choose the rhythmic dancer, or we can choose, or I guess rhythmic gymnastics, or the torchbearer. I think we'll go with the torchbearer today. Let's go ahead and touch the torchbearer and touch create. And he's within my 4x4 frame, so he's easily done with sketch. We'll go ahead and say done. And we'll come back. Actually, we're going to save this guy. I'm going to cancel that. We're going to put a heart next to him and save him so we know what we want. So I'm going to heart him, and that way he's easy to find, okay? So now that we've got our design that we've decided on, let's go tap new. And I'm going to touch printing at the top, so you can choose embroidery, you can choose cutting, and you can choose printing. We're going to choose printing, and I'm going to touch design editor. Here's my design. Let's choose letter landscape because I want it to go sideways, and we'll touch done. Now I'm going to touch the icon down at the bottom and touch the A. That's where I enter my text, and I'm going to touch in USA. Now, this app works with both an Android and an Apple. The Apple functions are slightly different than they are in the Android version, so keep that in mind. You may not have the same done command or something like that, but you can still do everything. So you can rotate, you can move, you can flip, you can resize. So if I wanted to resize that, I can either use gestures and spread it and squeeze it, or I can go into the font key and choose size. But that font's not one I want to use. So if it has a crown next to it, once again, it is a paid font. I'm going to choose a free one. So let's go through and look and let you see what we've got, though. So here we go. Oh, that one's actually kind of cool. Where was that one? That one's kind of cool. I like that. Let's go with that one. That was not what I was going to choose, but that was, I think we'll go with that one because it gives it a little brush stroke look. I like that. Now, if I want to see what size it is, I'll touch the font menu again and touch size. That one's 4.53 inches wide. Let me see how wide my, because we have to sublimate first. Let me see how wide this is. So this is what we're making. We're making a little dog shirt. Where is my, there we go. Measuring tape. I have, okay, so I've got 8 inches to work with. Probably 4 is probably a good 4 or 5. So we'll go with 4.53 inches. That's good. Now let's change our color. I'm going to embroider with various colors, but let's go ahead and change our color to, oh, do y'all like red or blue? Let's see. There's blue. There's red. That one's kind of pretty. Ooh, I like that one. Okay, so let's say we're done with that. We're ready. All right, so now my design is ready. I'm going to touch OK. I'm going to touch done. I could save it if I want to do it later. I could save it if I want to do it later, but I'm going to go ahead and just leave it alone and press done. It's going to prompt me and say, do you want to save or do you not want to save? All right, so here's the deal. If you don't think you're going to do this ever again, then don't bother saving it. If you think you may repeat this activity, go ahead and press save and name it. And I'll just type USA and save it. In the free version, you have 20 saves in your my collection or I think it's my collection. I'll show you here in just a second. In the paid version, you have up to 100. That is combined embroidery, printing, cutting, all of your data. Anything that you import is all there. Okay. So yeah, I didn't pay attention to y'all. I just went with my own thing since I tapped blue and I liked that blue. I went with it. So we are not going with the fabric printer for this. We are going to choose the creative printer. So it's going to find my SP1. So it's looking for Brother SP1. It has found it. Notice that it has automatically mirrored it for me because it knows it needs to mirror. It's ready for me to go. I can touch print settings. I can tell it how many copies that I want. If I don't want it to mirror it, let's say for some reason I want to print that and not mirror it, I can turn off the mirror print, or if I already had a mirrored image, you can choose your print mode, whether you want it to be quality mode or speed mode. I'm going to leave it on quality, and we will go ahead and say print. Okay. So I am going to say print, and it's going to pop out of my machine. Okay. Do y'all want me to show you the setup before I hit print? So guys, if you will switch me, and you understand, I'm going to hit the print button here in a second, but let's go over to the machine so that I don't mess up. Can I divide my USA to make in thirds horizontally? So I could have just typed in U and then come in and typed in an S and then come in and typed in an A. Okay. So I could have had it separated. I could have done it vertical. There are things that you can do, but if I wanted to, it just depends on what you want to do. The machine crosses over to all of the Brother machines that have internal wireless cards. Okay, so if your machine has an internal wireless card, the Artspira app will work with it. If it doesn't have an internal wireless card, it will not. Okay. The Sketch is a different animal, as in it is a Bluetooth model, so it works with the Bluetooth model. It is the only one we have that's Bluetooth though. Okay. All right, so I'm going to flip, and I'll come back if I have time. I'll come back and we'll play with the app a little bit more if we want to try a few other things, but this way we're getting on with what we're going with. So I am at my machine over here, and I wanted to show you over the top before I do anything else is the paper tray loading. So you've got a paper tray down here, and you can put in 8.5 by 11 or 8.5 by 14-inch sheets. To do legal sheets, you simply press the little button there, pull the tray out, and then you're ready to go with legal size paper. I'm going to go with the 8.5 by 11 because that's what I've got. And on your paper, at the bottom right corner, there's a little notch. That goes to the right side. That means you know your paper is loaded in the correct way when your notch is on the right side. Load your paper, place it back in the machine. And now let me flip cameras here. Okay. So it's in the machine, and if I zoom in, y'all are going to have to let me zoom in because I apologize that I'm having to do it this way. But we do have, unfortunately, having two cameras that I've got going, it was not letting me set it up right today. I had set up for something else and Blaine wanted this. So you can touch, yes, we're going to go with that paper, and you're ready to go. So I am ready to touch print on my app, and it's going to spit that out in a couple of seconds. And there's this little lever here you can flip out. Let's go back to that so you can watch this print a little bit. So, I mean, it's fast to transfer the data. It's already transferred it out there, and it's now telling me my data transfer is complete. So I'll touch OK. So it's going to take it just a minute. And while that's doing that, I'll come back over here and we'll play with our app a little bit. So if you all will flip me over to the app, I would appreciate it. And we'll get out of here since that's already transferred. So y'all wanted to know how to do individual letters. So let's come back into the font menu and go back into the keyboard. So I can take out my S and A. So I've got a U. Now if I want the S, come back in. I'm going to have to change it to the same font. So I need to remember what font that is. That was Broadcast Matter. Maybe I'm not sure. So let's go in here and tap it. We'll go ahead and add the A in. All right, so here we go. So now I can come back in and let's go grab the same font, which was this one. We'll do the same thing here. And then we can resize. You could make one bigger, one smaller. You can come in and tap the other one. All right, so now if you want this one to be, remember, so one thing you need to know is that Sublimation does not have white ink. So you cannot have something be white. It will simply disappear. So I can do red and I can do blue, but I cannot do white because you wouldn't have anything show up. Oh, I wanted to go color. We'll go back to that blue. So I could do it that way. I could have come here and tapped and made it them overlap. So you have options, whatever you want to do. Okay. So just keep in mind, white does not print in Sublimation. So if we went on a black shirt and you notice that little white strip right there, that would be black because it does not print white. Okay. All right, I'm ready for my camera to go back up and we will go to the heat press. There's my print. It's already up and going and I'm going to flip cameras. And you're going to have to live with me while I get that into the correct position. There we go. Okay, so I've got my doggy towel here, or my doggy sweater here. The first thing I need to do is make sure my heat press is up to temp, and it's not quite, but I'm going to go ahead and fold my project in half and give it a little press to get the moisture out of it. And I'll do the same thing. Actually, that's actually pretty good. What I did, that also gives me a crease so I know what the center is. I may have made that way too big. Boys and girls, I made that way too big. So I'm going to print it one more time in a smaller size. And I did save it, so we're good. So, and if you want to know, let me cancel that one. We'll discard it and go into my creations and find my USA and let's make it smaller. I must have looked at the height and not the width. All right, done. Don't save and print. All right. So while that's printing, we can continue on here. The first thing I need to do is, since this has a back to it and it would have little nubbies underneath it and it wouldn't get there nicely, I have a little pillow here and I've got paper covering my little pillow. It's a press pillow, okay? And I've got paper covering it so that I don't sublimate through my item and make my pillow be USA. You don't want to do that. You also don't want to have the pad, the base of your, what am I trying to say? The base of your press to be sublimated. So you're going to put a piece of butcher paper on that as well to keep the sublimation ink gases from getting onto your base. Okay. Now we're going to test and see how much pressure we need. Oh, that's pretty good, but I probably could lighten that up a little bit because I don't need a heavy press. That's probably good right there. Okay. So that's good. And our print is ready now. And I'm going to come up over the top here and we're going to just kind of trim around it. Some people like to tear. I am not a tearer because I tend to tear the print. And I want to keep my hands off of the ink. But I'm just kind of going around it. I could have left it on. Not a big deal. And usually I'm smart enough to basically fold it in the center to make sure I'm in there. But we'll fold it in half right here. So I know where I'm going. Okay, so here I've got my USA. We're ready? All right. So I know where my center is because remember I pressed it in there. I'm going to take my sublimation print and I'm going to use heat tape and just gently tape it down there. You don't need a ton of this, guys. You just need it to where it's not going to shift when you press it. Okay. In the guide, and I'll show you this when I get back to the app. In the app, it gives you suggestions for time and temperature. And I do believe my temperature is supposed to be around 385. We're at 380 right now. So we're close enough for government work. And I believe it says 45 seconds. So we're going to go ahead and go 45 seconds. Every heat press is slightly different. So yours may not need as much. Oh, guys, I forgot something. And I just got that on my platen. Forgot the butcher paper. And I also forgot to clean off the dust. So we may have a little bit of dust lint on ours. Let's see. How did I do? We're good. All right. So let me tell you a few tips that I forgot to do. Before you press, it's always a good idea to take a lint roller. I got off track there. It's always a good idea to take a lint roller and take the lint off of your garment. Then it's always a really good idea to put a piece of butcher paper over your sublimation paper because it's a gas and the gas can get on your platen. I'll just have to clean my platen off. But that's generally how you do it. So we now have our USA and it's ready to go. All right. Now let's go back over to our table and we're going to actually work on the app. So let me see here. If you guys will switch me to the app first, I would appreciate it. Okay. So let's go home and let's go. There's my embroidery design that we had already picked and we're ready to go. So I'm going to tap create. Okay. You want to show me as well as the app for just a second? Okay. Now, guys, you're going to lay this down here and we're going to put our stabilizer inside the pocket. Actually, bring me up first before we get into the app. We're going to put our stabilizer in here. And I've got a mesh. It is a no-show mesh. It's not a fusible, but it is a no-show mesh. And I'm going to take my hoop and I'm going to go with the bracket towards the largest opening. I could go through the small opening, but I always find it easier to give myself more room to wiggle. This is a magnetic frame. There are two sizes that you can get. One comes with the sketch machine. The 4x4 comes in the sketch machine. The 3x3 does not. And you can also basically use sticky paper if you want. So it basically, I would hoop my sticky and then I would put my top of my frame on there. So there we go. I'm hooped. That was so hard, right? Now we're going to align our design. These little markers show you how it works. So I'm going to say done. Let's see if I can get this out of my way. And it's going to tell me to position my pattern. So I'm going to say layout. And on my machine, I have to press the accept button. So let's go to this camera. And this is the accept button right here. Okay. So now I'm ready to close that, and we'll go back overhead, and we're going to touch layout. Layout's the top button, and it's going to say position using the camera scan. All right. It's walking me through this. Okay. Now I'm going to tell it start hoop scan. If you don't want it to walk you through the process, you can tap this little button here, and I'll show you this when we get to back to the computer. I'll show you that button again, but we're going to go ahead and start hoop scan. So it's going to find my frame. All right. So now I can see my US and A are there. I touch OK. That's on my screen. So now I can rotate this design and place it where I want it to go. So if I want it in the center, I can put it right smack dab in the center. When we're done, we tap done, and then we tap transfer. Let me see. Do I like that? Oh, fiddle-dee-dee. Hold on. I hit the, let's rehoop, let's rescan. I just want to make sure I like where I've got it before I hit touch done. Yeah, I'm pretty good with that. All right. So now we'll say done. And now we'll say transfer. So now it's going to transfer it to my machine. It says data sent, and it's going to walk me through. If I want to watch a video on how to thread it, how to insert the bobbin, I can do I can follow those steps. There's a video to walk me through it. I'm going to say done because I don't need that guidance. To do a trial run, actually right there, to do a trial run, we take our hoop, we make sure everything's hanging out the bottom. So this is a tubular machine, just like one of our multi-needles or the PR1X or the PRS100. So you can get things underneath it. You can do pants, you can do shirt sleeves, all of those little kinds of things. And we're going to snap this into place. All right, it is snapped into place. Now, let's go back here and we can do a trial run. If I do trial run, what that's going to do is make sure that nothing gets caught. So I'm going to put the accept button, and it's going to test to make sure nothing gets caught for me. That's really an important thing for you to do, okay? So that we're good. That's ready to go. We'll say okay. And now the app gives me the list of colors, and it's going to show me the embroidery time. So the first color is red. Let me see if I can change to a different camera view for you and walk you through threading this guy. Okay. So can y'all see the top of my machine here? Not really. Let me see if I can scooch. There we go. Okay. So we're going to take our little pin. Since I've got a Brother thread spool, I'm going to go ahead and use the pin instead of the caps. It comes with some caps, but I'm going with the little pin instead. And we're going to slide the pin in. All right. We're going to go up and over. Follow the diagram. This is for winding your bobbin. We're not winding a bobbin. And then you'll go down to the, what am I trying to say? You'll go down, and let me rotate my machine so y'all can see from a front angle. That's not a very good angle. Go back to one on that one. There we go. So here we go. And my remote is operating both cameras, unfortunately. So we're going to come up and around, and then we will go back to forward facing. Okay. So it comes down, and let's see if I can zoom in for you. Let's zoom way in and move over. I had these all preset, but you know how that goes. All right. So just like every other machine, there is a thread guide. You're going to go into the thread guide. And then you are going to go through this little notch right here. through this little notch right here. And then you have a thread cutter right here. Let me rotate. See that little thread cutter right there? You take and pull it and you're ready. So now it has an automatic needle threader on it. We're ready to use that. It is the lever on the side here. Let me raise up. This little lever right here is your needle threader. You needle thread it. And now let's go back to the front here. Go down a little bit. And you can tuck your tail. All right. Now it's ready to go. So your light is flashing red. It is ready to go. All I have to do is press that button. Actually, it's flashing green. All I have to do is press that button. And it's going to take off to the races. And I'm going to trim my tail and let it go. Okay. So let me come back while that's embroidering that color. My next color is going to be blue. I'll find a blue to kind of be ready to go. And deep gold. It has specific colors. I pay attention to that half the time. Okay, if you guys want to bring my app back up. Oh, evidently the red is done. That was quick. And pop me back over. The red didn't take but 1 minute. This is a quick stitch out, guys. Okay, I'm going to trim. We're going to rethread real quick. I didn't realize it was going to go that quick. This is a 1 minute stitch out. This is an entry-level machine. And I will sit here and tell you, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's a great little machine to do tubular items if you're not ready to take a deep dive and go into a more expensive machine, or you already have a more expensive machine to do larger things. This allows you to get the tubular stuff that you want to do to where you do not have to take things apart. That is its major benefit. And the price point on it is very, very good. So this is 1 minute. So I'm going to let it stitch for 1 minute, and then I'll go ahead and change because the next one's 3 minutes, and then we can do the app for just a little bit. It's telling me exactly how much time I have on each color. And I should have thrown a little extra tearaway underneath there for this one. We'll see. All right, so the next color is deep gold, and that one takes 3 minutes. So we can talk app after that. It's also highly portable. It doesn't weigh much at all. I can take this with me to my hotel room and cart it in without an issue. Whereas my other machine, I don't think I would do that. Oh. Let's back up. Okay, so there is a way to back up stitches. And I will show you that here in just a second too. I'm going to go back to the beginning of that color. Oops. Fast forward. There we go. All right, so there is a beginning of color button. I just needed to do that. I don't know, my thread must not have been good, or I didn't get it threaded completely correctly. All right. All right, so that's exactly what I did right there. I cut the thread. Okay. Get smaller scissors in your hands, Cindy. That's funny. I don't care who you are, that's funny. I'm getting fast forwarding to my, there we go. Back a stitch. There we go. One more time. This time I will not trim. Or I will make sure that I don't trim my thread away. There we go. All right. So now I'll show you the app. And let's look at how many, it's showing me how many stitches and things that I have going. Okay. So in my app screen right now, you can see if I'm going to say done right here or cancel. So you can see it's telling me the colors that I'm on. The colors that are grayed out have already been embroidered. The colors that are left are the ones that are ready to go. My deep gold, which is in there right now, has 3 minutes, and then the red will have 2 minutes, and then the Prussian blue will finish up with 1. If I needed to stop and change back up like I just did, do you see where it says stitch here? If you tap on that, I actually have to stop the machine for that to happen. Hold on. If I tap on that, it turns blue. You notice when I turn off the machine, it turns blue. I can tap there, and then I can fast forward or back up to any of the stitches that I need to. All right. You cannot color sort this particular design. You can't color sort in this app, but it was digitized for a reason this way. They wanted the layers. So the gold has to go underneath the blue, but the blue handle needed to go underneath the gold. So that's the reason it's digitized this way, is because it had to be, there's different things that it had to show. And let me see if I can answer some questions here while we're waiting for this to finish. And you can use you do not have to use a tablet. You can use your iPhone. I'm using my tablet because I have it and it's bigger. It's easier to see and I work with it. But I mean, that's for me. I find it easier to do on a bigger screen. My heat press is a Hotronix. I mean, if I had to do it again, back when I bought my heat press, I've had my heat press for years. When I bought mine, it was pretty much the only one that had that automatic timer thing that I've got going on with it. So it has 2 timers. It has one for the initial pre-press, and then it has the automatic timer for the press part of it. And I truly did not want to try to keep up with it because I had another press before that was a swing arm, and I burnt myself with that one, but I also burnt other things because I would forget it was going. So I like the fact that that one pops up, but I would probably do one that has an automatic pressure kind of thing. And they're actually getting much more reasonably priced. Okay, so we are ready to change thread colors again. My color, as you can see on the app, shows red. So let me change my thread out. And red has 2 minutes, as you can see. Let me put my cap back on it. See if I can manage not to trim my thread again. That'll work. All right. So now that's on its way. And let's see here. The sublimation printer is very easy to use. The nice thing about it is it has an automatic maintenance cycle on it. You leave it turned on all the time, it goes to sleep. But when it needs to cycle the inks, it will do that for you. So your sublimation inks don't dry up. They last for quite a while. So that's really a nice thing. So you can make yourself a press pillow or you can buy them. They're all over the place. This one only takes the Brother Sublimation inks. So it is specific to Brother Sublimation. Keep that. And you want heat resistant tape. So I like the blue heat resistant tape. I do not like the yellow. I've seen too many people that have had issues with the yellow coming off on their projects and staying on there. So I use the heat resistant tape. Let's see here. Trying to see if there's other ones. Yes, I'm making the doggy. No, the doggy t-shirts I ordered. They are polyester. They are 100% polyester. And while we're waiting on this thing to do its thing, I will, oh, actually it's ready for the last color, which is blue, right? So let me trim off, change the thread color. And it will just about be done. And while it's finishing that embroidery, I will show you some of the sublimation things I've done. I haven't done a lot of sublimation embroidery together, and what I have is packed in my sample suitcase, but here we go. I do have sublimation only samples here. Okay, let me flip up to this camera here. Now, sublimation works best with 100% polyester. White is your best color. You will get your most vibrant prints. So if I did this on a pink, my pinks wouldn't show up very well. But 100% polyester works the best, okay? This is a design in the app, and I do believe this is a free one because I do try to show free ones. I added the text on it. So I figure I'll give this to my nephew at some point when it's no longer a sample. Of course, he will probably have grown that one out yet. This is one I did for 4th of July. This is a running shirt, inexpensive, but it is 100% polyester and it is white. You can buy sublimation blanks. These are flag blanks that you can get. There are mouse pads, so you can sublimate on mouse pads. This is my pup. This is the print. So you can see the print prints duller. You think it's not going to do vibrant because it's printed dull. But when it actually prints, that color basically turns into a gas and it really prints very vibrant. So you can do mouse pads. I got an example of a doggy t-shirt. So here's the doggy t-shirt. This one is 100% polyester. So it is very vibrant, okay, based off of the print that I did. This one is, I think, 50-50. Not as vibrant, but you're going to get a vintage look. But the 50% of the basically 50% of your ink will take because only 50% of this is polyester. The other, I cannot speak. The other percent is cotton. So depending on whether you want a vintage look or you want a bright look will depend on what you decide to go with. All right. You can sublimate on cups. You do need to get a press or an oven to work with that. My husband's a big pickleball player, so I have tons of pickleball stuff. That's the first thing I did. You know, that is the nice thing about it. You can sublimate on cups. You can sublimate on mugs. You can sublimate on almost anything. There is our finished design. It is done. All we have to do is take off our hoop and trim up our stabilizer. And then now my pup is ready for the Olympics. Okay, Blaine. Actually pull me, let's see here. Show my app for a second. You'll see it says finished or I want to embroider this pattern again. I am finished with this. We're done. We didn't make any changes. So we can just say cancel. And I said I would talk to you about a few things within the app, didn't I? So down at the bottom, if you look, you have home, you have gallery, you have new, you have my creations, and you have settings. Settings is where you go in and do anything with your app. You can register your machines there. My creations is where your saved items are located. So anything that you've saved will be in the app. So here's my little peeps that I did when I did hang in with my peeps. That is a printing design only. This is my mouse pad. So this part is a design within the app. Princess I added. So you can add your own pictures. You can actually print directly from your computer if you download the print driver for your computer. If it has a crown next to it, so you can see on my creations right here, I've got a design in there that's been used with a crown. So the camera part of that design is a Artspira paid item. This one right here is something I created on my computer. Actually, I may have downloaded that from somewhere. I'm pretty sure I probably did it from Creative Fabrica. So the USA on that one is from there. The Happy 4th I added in the app. So it really depends on what you want to do. But as you can see, both my embroidery designs and my printing designs and my cutting designs are in this area. Okay. And if you wanted to, you could have, instead of just done a plain print, if you want to create yourself some fun prints for your background, instead of doing USA, we could have come in here for landscape and say done. We could pick any of these designs that don't have a crown on them. Let's see. You actually can use the ones with the crown, but I'm not going to use the print ones with the crown today. Come on, come in. Play nice with me. Actually, let's pick a picture. These are more fun. So let's say I want to do something with my dog. So there's my dog. Now this could be fun as a background and use the dog as a picture. So I can come in and choose effect. Effect is going to be a different colorway. It's going to brighten it up, darken it, those kind of things. You can change the piece wedge that you're looking at. And this is what I tend to do. So I come in and I'll hunt for the wedge that I want. So let's say I want her face. You can see that I'm getting her nose a little bit more in there, and then I can adjust that piece size to where it's bigger or smaller. Or sorry, I went smaller first, or bigger. So there's her eyes. So if you want to see her eyes, you can play with that. This is how I get fun border prints for the PrintModa printer. I think that this is a blast to use. But as you change the size, you get more of her face. And you can continue to get different pieces. But you could have a fun little background print there if you wanted to. And you just keep choosing different wedges. So, all right. Let me see. Were there other questions about the app, Blaine? I think I'm done.
We're looking right now, Cindy. Has anybody got any questions? We kind of told them to hold a lot of them to the end. So anybody got any questions about the sublimation printer, go ahead and ask her now about the printer and put those in. Then also, if you got any questions about the sketch, put those in as well. And if you have any questions about the app, we'll just kind of go to all of them. And Roger's looking right now to see if there's any questions, Cindy.
Okay.
I think I had one. What is the embroidery download for Brother? Is it My Embroidery or I Embroidery?
iBroidery.
I Embroidery. You could actually pull designs from there and import them into the
If it's a
Artspira app.
If it's a PES file, I haven't tried. Hold on. There's an easy way to figure this out. If I can register my sketch machine, then yes, I can. If I can't register my sketch machine, then I can't. I have not. Oops.
But if you've got an outside embroidery design, like on
oh yes,
you can actually just wirelessly send that to that, right? Well, it doesn't have wireless. You have to have a USB stick.
You do have to have a USB.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Yeah, you. Okay,
It goes
so let me
directly
tell
to the
you. Let me
machine?
give you let me kind of give you how that would work. Hold on.
Okay.
I was looking to see if I could register. Okay, let's see here. If I go in and sign in. And you, I don't know. I can't remember my password. Is that terrible? I don't remember which one.
Get back on.
It happens to all of us, Cindy.
I don't remember which email I used for this one. Well, that's
There's another question up there right now. It says, does the sketch only work with Artspira?
Yes, it only works with Artspira.
But you have to have the app to be able to do any embroidery on it?
Yes, you have to use the app to do any embroidery on it. The reason being is because that's how you position it. There is no onboard controller. Okay, I can't answer that question. I'll find out. Okay.
Okay.
There's no onboard controller on it, so there's no screen. You couldn't do any
Right.
positioning without the app. So the app is necessary. And as I said, it's a free app. You don't have to use the designs that are in it, but you have to bring the designs into it. So what I will do is I will go in on my iPad and I will download a design, and then I can import that. So if you want to show my screen, I can show how to do that. It's pretty simple. So you go into My Creations, and then you touch Add, the plus sign up at the top. So see that little button right there? That's what you touch. And then you import external files. You choose where you want to look for them. If I've downloaded it to my iPad, I touch on my iPad, and then I can float through here and it will find the ones that it can do. So here's a PES file. So you're looking for PES files. I select it and I select open, and it's storing that into my folder. When I'm done with it, I can delete it. So if there's something that I know I'm never going to use again, a lot of times I will just go in and delete it, because if in the free version, you have 20 saves in this area, and that includes everything. So if it's not something I'm going to use again, I've got it on my device. It doesn't take that long to import it. It's given it a few seconds here, but it really doesn't take that much time to do it. So there it's imported it, and let's see here, where is it? I probably already have it, but it said it saved it. What did it was pause. Oh, there it is. There's my paw. Okay. So I tap it. Now I can use it. You can resize up and down about 20%. Okay. It will snap and won't let you go any further if it can't do it. But you can then at this point add to it. So if you have something from someplace else, you can certainly bring it in. It's not hard at all.
Okay. Roger,
Okay.
any other questions on that?
What is the largest sublimation it will do?
Largest sublimation that it'll do, Cindy?
In one sheet of paper, it's 8.5 by 14. Okay. You can sublimate larger. You just have to do it in sections. So you're going to have to make sure that your sections match up. That's more of an advanced technique. That's not something that I would do on a demo. That's honestly, but it's doable. It just takes a little bit of planning. You have to break your print up, so you would have to do that on a computer. The sublimation printer does not have to use the app. You can use your computer. So if you have a program that will split your photos, that's what you would do.
Well, Cindy, you always make everything look so easy. We sure do appreciate you coming on the show today. I know you had a long day and yesterday, and so I know you're tired. Thank you so much for coming on. And again, we're going to tell everybody how they can get one of these, and we'll see you again real soon. I know we're going to see you on SewFest.
When is that?
September.
Okay. Yeah. So I appreciate you having me on today. I apologize for my little word flubs, but I will have to say I switched
Well,
it up. Like,
you're good. Hey, and yeah, well, I know that you got a busy schedule, so but we're gonna let you go so you can get some rest. And anyway, we'll see you at SoFest.
all right, thanks. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for joining us today.
All right, Cindy. Okay, everybody, we're going to tell y'all how you can get it. So the first thing we're going to show right now is the sketch. We're going to show you that sketch up there. Now look at the price on that. That is $499. Now this is such a neat little embroidery machine. Roger and I was sitting here talking about it while Cindy was doing it. Just like this thing is the size of a coffee maker.
Yeah, it's incredible how small it is.
Yeah,
it looks like a coffee maker.
It does, and it's a 4x4 embroidery field on it. And, everybody's like, they ask, do you have to have the ArtSphere app to use it? Yes, but the ArtSphere app is free.
Okay.
And it works on, it works on your iPhone or a tablet. It works extremely easy.
Oh, wow.
And what I don't know if y'all, noticed that what was so cool is when Cindy actually took a picture of the design in her hoop, it actually, scans that and brings that into the ArtSphere app.
I thought that was pretty neat.
That is really a neat feature. And so what they did by doing that, they basically are taking a pretty nice embroidery machine and making it very inexpensive because it doesn't have the onboard cameras or the digital screen to have to do all that stuff. You're using the ArtSphere app to do all of it.
That's really cool.
That's what keeps that price down. So great price on this. And now what I'm going to tell you, hint, hint, wink, wink, you've got to call for more information.
Give us a call now.
All right. More information, hint, hint, wink, wink. We got financing available, 800-401-8151. Next up was that Sublimation printer. Now, again, we're showing you both printers today from Brother. The PrintModa is the fabric printer. This is the Sublimation printer. Look at the price, everyone, $349.99. That is a great price already. So call in for more information. 800-401-8151. Y'all know the drill. Hint, hint, wink, wink. All the products you saw on today's show, we're going to ship them nationwide, absolutely free. And we want you to call for more information. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
We'll take care of you.
For all of it.
Yeah.
Okay. So great product. Let's go ahead and show the other products we had just to give a reminder. The other one was that PR1X, $64.99 is what the price is on the screen there. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Call for more information. And 800-401-8151. Fantastic machine. 12 by 12 embroidery area. That is a whole back of a jacket.
Yeah.
It's a great size. And cylinder arm. You can do hats, shirt sleeves, so many things on this. And you can change. Well, I can't change it this fast, but Karlie Belle and Cindy Hogan can change the thread on it in about 4 seconds or 5 seconds. It takes me a little bit longer than that, but you can change the thread extremely fast, the thread colors on it, because you just tie off and pull the other one through, and then it's got the needle thread on it. The other one was the PrintModa that we showed. Again, this is that fabric printer. Now, this is a really incredible piece of machinery. I call it because you can make your own fabric. You can design your own fabric. And that is really cool to do. And you can use the ArtSphere app on this as well. Again, it's $8.99. Excuse me, $8.99. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Call for more information. And 800-401-8151. Everything you saw on the show, free shipping, Roger. And we've got some special financing available if you need it on all the products on today's show.
That's right.
All right. So, guys, that wraps up our show today. We're going to give some stuff away right now. So the first thing we're going to give away is a $25 gift card from SMP. Now, Roger, you're going to have to put in the chat, you're going to have to put gift, G-I-F-T.
Okay.
For the keyword. So everybody, if you want a chance to win, put gift, G-I-F-T in the chat right now. And Roger's trying to figure this out.
Yeah, it's been a while for this.
We don't do this every day. It is a little harder to run the console.
Gift. Start collecting. And now let me share that.
All right.
Is that
share the wheel?
Extra. No. Bear with me. I'm trying to.
You just wanted to spin the wheel?
Yeah, let's spin the wheel.
Just spin the wheel.
So let's spin the wheel. Okay. Esther Ramirez.
Well, you didn't show it.
Right here. Let me see. I'm trying to get the, let's see, slide, video screen, stop screen, and
You don't have it in the film strip there, Roger.
yeah, it's not coming up for some reason.
All right, we may have to do this the old-fashioned way today, everybody.
Yeah. Present.
You forgot how to do the wheel?
Share screen. There you go. I am so sorry, everyone. Let's see. That's
Roger's figuring it out.
There you go.
All right, put it
Share
up.
screen.
Put the winner up. You got to share that.
And then
there we go.
stage.
Bam.
There
So
you
Roger
go.
did spin the wheel. You just didn't get to see it. Esther Ramirez, you just won yourself a $25 gift card. So Esther, what we need you to do is go to smplive.tv, scroll down toward the bottom of the page where it says claim my prize, fill out all that information complete, hit submit. And once we get that information in, we're going to email you back a gift card code that you can use at checkout to save yourself $25 on your purchase. It's that simple. All right. Next up, we are going to give away some of our event bags. And these come in 8 different colors. They're $49.99 for the set, or $9.99 each. They come in all different colors with unique sayings. So, Roger, spin that wheel. You got to show it.
There you go.
All right. Roger spun before we showed it, but you're still going to get to see the winner. There it is. Unwinding with fiber and, I'm guessing, fabric.
Fabric, yeah.
Because I can't see it.
Or friends.
All right. They are watching today from YouTube. So congratulations. You just won yourself a set of our event bags. What we need you to do to claim that prize, go to smplive.tv, scroll down toward the bottom of the page where it says claim my prize, fill out all the information complete, hit submit, and we will get your event bags shipped right out to you. All right. Next up, we are going to give away some of our world famous sewing mats. Now these come in 13 different colors. There's 4 sizes in each color. And if you want to know the dimensions of the size, you can just go type in sew mats in the search bar at SewingMachinesPlus.com, and it'll take you to that page. You can look at all the different colors available and the dimensions. But we're going to give one lucky viewer one of these for free. So put the winner thing back up, Roger. There we go. Now spin that wheel. Here we go. Bonnie Spicer is our winner. She's watching today from YouTube. So congratulations, Bonnie. So Bonnie, to claim that prize, you need to go to smplive.tv, scroll down toward the bottom of the page where it says claim a prize, fill out all that information complete. And most importantly, in the notes section down there, you'll see, put in what color of sew mat you want, what size you want, hit submit. And once we get that in, we will ship your sew mat right out to you absolutely free. All right, next up, we are going to give away a sewing machine.
Okay.
And what machine you got?
We have a Zest, a 2212 Janome, or a Juki.
Let's give away that Baby Lock. So we're going to give away a Baby Lock Zest sewing machine today. There you go. $169 machine from Baby Lock. So, Roger, spin that wheel.
Good luck, everyone.
Here we go. See who's going to win this sewing machine.
Miss Parker.
Mrs. Parker. Miss Parker is our winner. Watching today from YouTube. So, Miss Parker, what we need you to do is go to smplive.tv, scroll down toward the bottom of that page where it says claim my prize, fill out all that information complete, hit submit, and once we get that in, we will get your brand new machine shipped right out to you. Every one of y'all winners have 30 days to claim your prize, or Roger's going to put them right back in the prize closet, aren't you, Roger?
Yep.
All right, everyone. Well, thank y'all for joining in. I know today is a 2-hour show, a little longer than normal, but we had 2 fantastic guests. I hope that you will agree, of Karlie Belle and Cindy Hogan. Big thank you to them for doing what they do and making our show awesome. Great products on the show today. And so anyway, we're going to be here again next week is when Grace starts, right?
Yes.
So Grace is going to be starting next week, guys. We're going to start on a Wednesday. It goes Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So that is the 30th, 31st, and 1st, right? Or the dates? July 30th, 31st, and August 1st.
Yes.
So that's going to be our show next week. So we're going to have 3 days. Make sure y'all tune in for that. The stream will start at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Central time, and that way you'll catch all the action. It's going to be the Grace unique experience, and we're looking forward to that. And teaming up with those guys, it's going to be a lot of fun. Have some prizes we'll give away as well, and we're going to have some really good pricing on some Grace products. So you want to make sure you tune in for that. I hope that y'all have a great rest of your weekend and have a great rest of the day today. And we will see y'all on Wednesday of next week. So long.
Bye, everyone.